Okay, this is going to be an audio test. We'll see how it goes. There's construction going on out front, so I apologize for the noise, but this is the time I have during my lunch break, so here we go. Starting a new game. I'll just try to skip through the intro stuff. Commence. This is the demo, so it only has the first chapter. So first off, I'm not sure if it gets the first time or if you have to play through it once before you get this choice, but you have two random modules you can pick from. Biosamples, you start off some data, which is your currency, or you can get your shatter layer. This can be extremely useful for fighting jellies and other things that do multiple hits but small amounts of damage per hit, because you can stack up your spikes and then get them to kill themselves. And your spikes will trigger even if you do not take damage, if I recall correctly, so very effective, but I'm just going to go with Biosample. I'm trying for an infinite skip deck is my goal. So each phase you get to choose between two different options. Encounter is the most common. We'll look over the Explore deck a little bit later. Okay, so taking incoming 12 damage. If I get 2 shields, be enough. You can also look at, this is your deck you're coming through. Looks like I'm going to be taking 3 damage, so not too much I can do about that. I'm just going to take a weapon energy. Go ahead and skip that. Shield 6, shield 3, and I take another 3 damage, get my new card. Okay, seeing as I'm going for a skip deck, dash will be a useful filler. 0 cost and give you a free skip. Okay, this one's I can usually block, so I'm going to go and stack some weapon energy. I don't need to take the shield action because I'm going to attack twice. And they'll give 3 each. And then I'll increase my power. I'm going to go ahead and skip through that because I want to get through my deck sooner than later. Okay, I've got 10 incoming damage. I'm going to go ahead and do the block 12. I can skip to get a power from this. And then I can do shield attack. That way I can kind of let the weak burn down a little bit. Only have 1, so definitely was overly cautious there. Better safe than sorry sometimes. Here I'm just unnecessarily stacking power. He'll buff, next turn I'll kill. So that is into the first encounter. You get data after each standard fight. If it's an elite, you can also get a module. So, exploration deck. These are the different things that you can encounter. So you have your regular encounters, you have makeshift fixes, which are great if you're about to die. Defrag, you can remove a card. Research. Let's see what our ordering is. It will show discarded if we've already played through them. And this is randomized order, so each playthrough is going to be different. We already see that on turn 6, we're going to be taking 8 damage from this, so keep that in mind. Elite Battle, you can get a sub-module as I mentioned. Story, we might want to pick up a second one. It's far enough in that we should be okay. Sometimes I skip the first story if it's too early because you want to save the data. And each turn you're going to the store, you're not getting data from an encounter. Go ahead and use my skip on that. Recuperate. These are all decent cards. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the risk on Recuperate. So if you don't have many statuses, our early deck doesn't have too much, this can be a drain. As soon as you can consistently generate at least 2 status effects on yourself, then it's always free because as long as you have 1 CPU to use, you get 1 CPU back. Dart Shot is solid for just picking off shields. Also, if you have some power, that can add up in 0 cost. Sharpen, you get lots of versatility with either giving a spark build or a power build, but I'm still going for a skip, and I'm thinking this will be the least likely to disadvantage that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shield 6 and do an attack here. I used my skip already, so I can't. So I'm just going to do a weaker attack there. I used to go for building up a lot of power early and then take them out with overwhelming force. However, that's often not really necessary, is what I found from my playthroughs. So there's different types of enemies that have standard types of damage. Until the buffs come into play, often you're going to see patterns of 6 damage, 9 damage, different numbers get used to. The 9 damage, when I see that, I think shield, use energy, and then shield, or shield with engineering energy, shield with weapon energy. So I'm going to set myself up for that. Take 1 shield here, do some damage, and then shield with weapon. And now I have 9 shield, it does 9 damage, I don't get hit. Okay, I'm going to want to skip the recuperate this time around because I do not have any status effects. They're doing 12 damage. However, I can do 6 there. So instead of shielding here, I'm going to probably go ahead and take 3 damage, but I'm going to make sure that I kill this guy off. That was unnecessary because I forgot that I had this coming around. So, okay. I will not be taking damage. I could have looked ahead, and I did not, though. And once again, I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. I'm going to go ahead and save this for next turn. So now I can convert it into energy by skipping it. Looks like I'm safe to just kind of burn this down. There we go. Second encounter complete. So, encounter, you can get more data. Defragment, you can remove one of the cards. This is our current deck. We haven't changed it too much. We've added the recuperate and the dash. Dash is what we're looking for. Recuperate is, a contingency plan. By removing cards, we can thin our deck, get through it faster. However, I'm fine with the deck as it is. I'd rather get the data. Okay, so this is 9, so we'd like to get the shield energy, shield attack. Can we get to it? By doing this, by doing a skip, we can do 1 damage, and we have 1 of each, which is what we wanted, so we get to deal. We take 0 damage. Okay, we see your scan coming up. Once again, because we have no status effects, this card is a skip. I'm going to go ahead and build up some power, do my scan. Okay, batteries are always great. These 2 cards are also solid, however, that is going to help mitigate some of the risks of a skip build. Early on, until you get yourself rolling, sometimes it can be hard to get through your first round, and those skips help with that. They also thin the deck because they're exhaust cards. So you get a skip, you get energy, and it removes it to thin your deck. I'm going to take 6, go ahead and skip there, take another here, and okay, I'm going to let 1 damage through. That's not going to break us. And the next turn I'll kill him. In general, I'm fairly happy if I can keep it above 82 early on, because then that's 1 repair away from getting back to full health. So anything less than 1 repair's worth I don't really worry too much about. It's going to be a 9. However, we really don't have to worry about that because we can just kill him. What's our damage at? Yeah, it's 10 damage from that, so get another weapon and then 5/10. Turns out if that didn't kill, battery would then give us another attack anyway, so definitely fine there. Okay, research. Let's go ahead and look at our exploration deck again. We've gone through to here. Okay, so when we get to here, I'm going to want to do that elite battle. I currently don't have any submodules because we started with the extra data, so we don't have to worry about buying another submodule slot at this time. However, once we go through these ones, they'll get reshuffled. And if they reshuffle and we have the elite battle before the research, then we're going to run into the problem where we won't be able to take a second submodule. So I'm going to go ahead and buy one, even though we're going to have 2 empty sub-modules for now, just to mitigate some of the RNG. Barb's another solid option if you're going for more strict shield and spike. And Hookshot's decent. I don't want to thicken my deck too much, too early though, and there's some core components of our build that we don't have yet, so I'm going to probably hold off on that. As I mentioned, buying a second submodule slot, and I think I'm going to go ahead and buy an extra skip so we can get through our cards more easily. Okay, incoming 10 damage. We should be able to get to our second shield. So I'm going to go take an energy for it. Convert this to a weapon. Skip there. Okay, now we can start burning this down. Skip, turn that into energy. One more skip, and then we can go ahead and get our card. Reload. There we go. That's one of our core components. This allows you to take 1 energy, turn into 3 skips, and once we can turn skips into energy, that's a 1 for 3 energy conversion. Okay, no incoming threat, so I'm just going to go ahead and do some damage. Take this guy out. Don't know what that buff is, but I don't want to see it. So, we can either save this for next time, we can skip over it. I'm just going to go ahead and maintain some velocity here though, so skip. I know that I'm not actually going to be making use of any of these, however I'm getting closer to our dash, which will give us more energy. So next turn we should be able to burn him down, or at least adapt more easily. Okay, he intends to weaken us. It doesn't tell us what the debuff is, but it means that some debuff will be shown here. Go ahead and get a weapon energy. I'm going to go ahead and skip here. So now we have 3 weapon energy. It's not going to make any difference because on the other side I'm just going to have another shield anyways. But we're now queued up, so whatever his debuff is, we'll bring this up to 2, so this will now be a free card instead of a skip. Okay, vulnerable. Increased damage taken by 50%. This is one of the ones that can be tricky if you get caught off guard, because it'll increase the damage number, so the damage they show doesn't always directly correlate to what you're going to receive. I believe it has been updated so that the calculation, if it's a static attack coming in, shows correctly. However, if you get this on the same turn, you don't get to know ahead of time, so that's something to watch out for. We got some skips. I don't think we're going to need to make use of any of them, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip this. Do double attack. Okay, it turns out I should have skipped, because then I could have got to the stash and finished him off this turn. Just means we're going to be a little bit slower than we would have otherwise been. 15 damage. Okay, skip, skip. Get another weapon. I'm going to do this just so I can finish him off this round, because we've let this drag on long enough. Okay, so we've got our elite module. Does that mean we're getting closer? We have 2 this round and 1 more round. Elite modules, or elite battles, give you sub-modules. They're often much harder. I would expect to take damage until you have your build ready. So we've got a scan on the first part of our deck. That's always nice. We've got some damage. Now, unique mechanic with these guys, the Heartbacks, they have regen, but it decreases each turn. So you can either try to just withstand their damage, which can be very difficult, because right now it's only showing 6, however these weakens often are CP minuses, engineering minuses, different things that can make it harder for you to get through your deck and get to your shields and activate them. Theoretically, if they all did a minus, they could take out your energy entirely if you don't have any way of generating other than the base amount. So, you can either withstand them until those go down, or you can burst them. Right now, our primary damage source is 6 damage, so if we did somehow 3 attacks, if all of our energy was weapon energy, that would still only do 18 damage. It would heal back 15, so we won't be able to kill him entirely, but we could do 2 rounds of that. Because we can skip and get another energy here. Go ahead and skip. I'm going to generate How do I want to do this? I think I'm going to go with power. Okay, so I want to get 6 shield. I'm thinking I can probably use the green energy on that one. Scan there. So I have skip, attack, generate energy, and this is just getting wasted, but I'm doing it to burn through the card. Generate energy, get my scan in, destabilize. That will be very useful later on. It's a little bit risky now, so we'll have to be careful with it. And I get my 6 shield, 0 damage. Got 2 weakens. Okay, that is definitely the best buff for me, because I'm not ready to burn them down yet, and I will have a higher chance of getting through my stuff. We are starting to get enough unique status effects that the CPU will start, the recouper will start being handy. It's not quite there yet. And we don't have any way of converting the skips other than... okay, we're in a good spot. I'm going to use this. One of the techniques when you're trying to burn through your deck quickly, often the base cards have plus energy of 1 time, from CPU to engineering or from CPU to weapon. And so effectively, if you look at your pool, I'll be able to play 2 cards right now, and I can, instead of forcing a skip, I can just do this to convert the energy type. As your deck gets filled out, you have more control of what type of energy you have. That can be a useful trick early on. It doesn't do too much of a difference, but good to keep in mind. I know that I can skip to my battery and use another attack there. I know that I have the CPU coming up, so I really should have saved, where I'll be generating CPU energy. I can use any type to convert into that. I'm going to go ahead and take a power here, take a shield. I should have not done that, so I could have got my CPU, but it's a 1-to-1, so we're still fine. Once we get our second one, that's when it's actually a gain. I want to have another shield for 2 reasons. One is that I have 14 incoming damage, and 2, this will do damage to me, but it gives me energy. And this goes back to, as I was saying, often I go for CPU gains because I can burn through the cards without using skips. In this case, I'm going to do this. I'm going to convert that into weapon energy. And I'm down to 10. I want up to 14. However, if I get an attack, I skip this, I get another weapon. I can now do an attack. I have 16, so I'm now covered. And you can see I have leftover skips. I'm just going to go ahead and rotate through that. These are the other cards that I want to come up. Okay, so we were talking about risk of destabilize. You have your base destabilize, which does 2 damage, and you have your ones that get thrown in, they do 3 damage. It's important to take note of that. These ones are more expensive. If you shield and then use that, you can get your energy back, and this will do 6 shield, this will do 3 damage, so your net effect will be 0 energy cost with 3 free shield. So they can be handy, but if you're not ready for them, they can chip you down pretty quickly. I have 1 weaken left. I have 21 incoming damage. I will be taking damage this turn. So the question is, how do I want to deal with it? All my shields are at the, or the majority of my shields are at the back, which is not ideal. I'm going ahead and take the 2 damage here. I'm going to take another skip, and so now I have a higher chance of being able to get to the cards I need. Skip here, convert that into CPU, convert it back into weapon, and that's just a free way of skipping 2 cards. That's all that was. Okay, I have 2 energy, I will get 1 more from here, so I will need that. I skip, and then I use all 3 of these as attacks. And that gets me 18, so I will take 3 damage, but that's not terrible. I have 2 skips. I do not want to take that much damage straight. That is unfortunate ordering, so I'm going to take this skip so I can pass. They're down to 12. See, this is the 2 damage one. I'll accept that. Skip. Skip. and then I'll shield 9. This time I'm going to line up with my shield, so that if they try to do another full round of damage... Oh, and there was the case that I was talking about. It looked like enough to cover his shield, however we got hit with the vulnerable, and so it increased his damage, so we ended up taking damage. However, this 10 will not be amplified further, that's already calculated. And now we're in a position where we're actually gaining energy from this. So I'm going to grab this, I convert, get another engineering, shield. So we've got 3, and we're doing 6, so I can almost kill this guy off. Do I have another tech? I do. If I take him out, okay, so yeah, I'll kill him this turn. Go ahead and do this. Attack. Attack. Convert. Make sure I'm not doing something stupid here. I don't need... Yeah, that's enough, so I don't need to take more damage here. I can use that for skip, I can skip, and then I can kill him. As you can see, as we fix our deck, this is going to be easier and easier to burn through, and we're not going to have to rely on the destabilize. But for now, we are definitely relying on these, and that can lead to early demise if you aren't careful. Let's see, I do not need this one, so I'm going to go ahead and skip. Energy. Skip. Oh. Okay, yeah. It's 2 damage. So the question is, do I want to use these or not? I can either gain 2 energy, which would be 2 skips, which is shield. I can burn through the rest of this deck this turn. I have no skips. I would have to take... I'm going to go with no on that. Probably not worth it. I will be taking damage though, because regardless of what he does, I don't have enough skips in my deck right now to be able to get through all these. So I'll probably try to skip 2, take 2. Skip, skip, and this is the 2 damage I'll take. And victory. So, overall pretty good run. Optimized process. Next card will not require energy. That can be very handy. And here's the guaranteed 8 damage we're going to take. Okay, that means we got to the end. We can look at a reshuffle. Sorry, we'll have to go one more before we can see the reshuffle. These guys, they are always fun. So, what they will do is they will put a bunch of malfunctions into your deck. If you try to clear the malfunctions at first, often you can get swamped, especially if there are 3 of them. So we're going to try to burn one of them down and then deal with the malfunctions and clean up our deck. I have 2 skips. I think we'll go ahead and convert that to energy. Skip this one. I think I'll skip that to get the energy. Go ahead and take the 2 damage. So we can 18 damage or 21 damage. I want to do 1 power and then I want to do 3 weapon attacks. Be my goal. Go and scan. Not really particularly fond of any of these for the build I'm going with. This is often... Either of these are not ideal, but they're okay. I don't want to thicken my deck too much, though. I'm going to go ahead and take Deflect, just because we can pivot if we have to more of a shield-focused deck, but I'm hoping we don't have to do that. Okay, so I want 2 more attacks on him. I have 1 weapon energy right now, and I will get another weapon energy from there and kill him. I'm going to go and use the shield even though I don't need it. And I miscalculated. What was I doing? I don't know. We'll have to use this earlier than anticipated. Got distracted from something. Okay, ending turn. Okay, so far we actually don't have too many malfunctions. So I'm going to go ahead and deal some damage to him. Going to go ahead and pick up the shield buffer. So next turn I'll get 13 shield, and then I'll take this. So he'll alternate between jamming in malfunctions, shielding himself, and attacking me. I have 13 shield to burn through. I have enough status effects I can convert to CPU for free. I can then convert it back to miss skipping a turn. I have 1 left. Go ahead and chip down a little bit. Use this to get a skip. I have plenty of shield to burn through, so I'm going to go ahead and run some of these destabilize. Chip them down a little bit more. Still plenty of shield. Convert it. Take that out. And now I can kill him without worrying about malfunctions except for the new one he's putting in. I think I'm going to go ahead and... I messed that up. I should have done the shield. Oh well. I could have ended this with 0 malfunctions. Instead I'm going to end it with 1 because I don't have a shield before that malfunction. I don't want to take the damage. Well, it's 2 damage. Yeah. I'll just put up with 1 malfunction in my deck for now. Rock Slide, Safe Passage. I don't like either of these. Safe Passage at first seems like a nice card, however, it's a skipping data on your turn. If I look at my Exploration deck, I've already removed 1 of these though, so I don't have to remove the second one. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Safe Passage. Okay, makeshift fix. I can either get 2 more of those malfunctions, bring me up to 3, but I restore 11 health, or I can defragment and remove 1 of them, at which point I would not heal, but I would not have any malfunctions. I'm going to go ahead and take the health. Aha! This is the case I was talking about earlier, where we bought the second submodule slot, because in case this Elite Battle came up before the store, which it did, we can now take this fight and get the second submodule. And these guys again. We're going to be taking some damage. Skip. I'm going to go ahead and clear this malfunction out. Okay, we have some options here. Go ahead and skip this, take this, get more shield. And because I have a skip and I have optimized process, I can actually get to my destabilize. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Skip here, optimize my process, grab more shielding, take some of this, convert that to weapon energy. I'm going to hold on to this instead of using it. And then this one, I'll use the shield buffer and scan. That'll be my next turn. Oh, and we got a vulnerable, so we took damage. There was a comment about making turn orders visible, and so we'll be able to see if that's likely to happen. 20 incoming damage. I was planning on shield buffer next turn, however, I think I might just do the 9 shield this turn. Function while I get through the rest of my deck. Yeah, I think we're just going to take the shielding now. Key search. Right now, that's not going to do a whole lot of good, however, it will be the gateway for the build we're looking for. I just don't know if we're going to pull the cards in time. I can remove the malfunction now, so I can burn through the deck more efficiently. 2 malfunctions, yeah, it's probably worth it. Skip. Gonna go ahead and take this damage. Take that. Convert. This isn't exactly what I wanted. I'm not going to make it through to there. Okay. Take 12 damage. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep that one for now. They're at 13 regen, so if we can do more than 13, we can actually do lasting damage. We're doing 12 right now, so I'm not worried about damage side of it because I can't do enough to actually stick. So I'm just trying to see if I can get enough shields to mitigate my health loss. Key search. So later on, we'll be able to use this for taking our discard pile and bring it back as we burn through our deck. Often what we'll end up doing are these 2 options earlier on. We can search through our deck and say, okay, I want to have whatever, this shield I need. I can, at a cost of 2 energy, buy 1 for this and then 1 for playing the card. I can reorder my deck. But right now I don't need to reorder the deck. Just need to get through to my shields. Now I only have 6 incoming damage, so I'm going to go ahead and take more of these. You grab that for the shield buffer. This is the 2 cost, so I'm going to go and grab that for the shield. We'll skip this one. Increase my shield. Skip this to get a weapon energy. Get my shield buffer for next turn. Okay. Good. So I'm going to just looking at my deck to see how I can set myself up best for next time. Don't need more shield. End my turn there. $14 incoming damage. I will get to my shield, so I'm going to find taking this. Let's start stacking up some power. now we have enough to cover that. I can use this turn to get one more weapon energy to attack it with another 6. However, that would take it down to 9. It would heal up back to 20. So I'd do 1 lasting damage. Let me go ahead and hold on to it. Okay, I'm going to want to skip. And take 2 damage here, but as a result I'm going to get 6, so it's a net effect of +4. I'm going to take 3, another 3 for a +3 net effect. I have 3 skips, and I'm going to go ahead and skip that one. Skip here, take another 3 to get another 3. 14, 19. Okay. There we go. Made it through. $14 coming in. Do 16 plus another 5. Okay, so 17 is my kill point. Should be close enough. I think I can finagle it less. Okay, so I'm going to try to see if I can kill this guy this turn. Grab another weapon energy. Convert that one. I'm going to skip this one. No kill there. I can shield his 6. Yeah, I'm going to want that shield to burn through those. So I'm going to go ahead and end my turn there. Actually, I can skip this. I'm not going to use it. So, get myself better set up for next round. In that case, it was the attack and the vulnerable, so I didn't take damage. If it didn't hit the vulnerable, then the attack I would have taken damage. How's my deck looking? I should be able to get enough so I don't need to convert this. I can just start doing the damage. I have 1 skip and I have 2 of these. So I could skip this to get weapon, but then I'm going to take the 3 damage as a result of these, or I can use this to get a second skip and then I can skip over both of those. Skip, skip. Recuperate, I have more than 2 status effects, so I can use this for free. I'm going to go ahead and take the 3 damage now. So I have the shield buffer for next turn, so I don't have to worry about that, and then finish this guy off. So now we're going to get a spot for our last turn. We got 13 shields, so we can do plenty of that. If we wanted to, we could do a key search here. If we had a specific card that we're looking for. Example, we're just going to demo it. So I can now search through my deck. I'm going to take the next round. Grab this one. I can now stack my buffer, so next round I'll have 13 shield as well. However, as you can see, why I said it was unnecessary is because we're not going to make it to next round. Shield burst. Okay. That is making it very tempting to switch builds around. We still haven't got our core items for our skip decks, and we're getting a lot of things that would be helpful for the shield one. This guy's going to both attack and debuff, and inflict a status effect. I'm still not sure which one's... He does a reflect damage one, and he can also debuff you. I don't remember which one's which. I'm going to want to scan. In this guy specifically, I often don't want to take power, because if you don't take power, your shield will do as much damage as his shields, and so you can take effectively clear out his status of the reflect before you do your attack. The more power you do, the more damage you're going to take on that. Well, I have my second key search. I just need the actual skip build. 2 key searches with a skip build is extremely powerful. Skip there. I think I'm going to be taking damage. I can... Okay. I have effectively 3 cards I can play. Past here, 1, 2, 3. So as long as I save the shield stuff, I need to save my power. That's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and do some damage. Let's optimize process. Do some more damage. Let's skip this one. Deflect. There we go. It is called Retaliation, and this is the card I was talking about. It's only as a single use, so if I attack with here, I deal 3 damage, you get 3 shield. I don't remember the order of effect. So normally I would just do this and then clear it later. I'm going to take a risk here and see how does this do this. Okay, and it does give you the shield before processing the data. That's what I was curious about. Go ahead and skip, skip. And I can safely take this skip because I can convert it back here. So I've got a net plus 2 skips. I have 2 energy to spend. I'm tempted to just stack my shields. I can get close, but not quite. I think I'm going to do a shield burst next turn, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here. So I can do a shield, get another shield. I can then... That is not what I meant to do. I meant to do the other one. Oh well. So, what I just took is my 2 shields that I used and shuffled back in. Not what I was meaning to do. We have 12 damage there. I can deal that all, but I will get rid of my shield if I do so. So I'd only want to do that if I could then guarantee a kill with it, which I'm still out of kill range. So I'm just going to skip through to set up my next turn. That's good enough. And now he has another retaliation thing, so we won't want to do a large burst of damage without having a shield in place first. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this to clear it. Nine plus 3. Okay. Go ahead and skip here to get my weapon back. I can now safely attack. And I could burst, but I'd be 1 shy. Alternately, I can skip, destabilize, attack again, and now I can burst him. Okay. Realizing I'm going a lot slower through my runs when I'm trying to talk through it as well. This is definitely new to me. Lots of attacks. If I'd weaken, that would be great, because -2, then you'd be doing 0 damage. Doesn't matter how many times you multiply, it's not going to hurt. I'm going to go ahead and grab an energy, grab a deflect, grab a shield, and now I've neutralized their damage from this turn. I can look at what do we have. We have our scan, we have a battery. So this is a case where I might want to grab the scan. Sorry, I could grab the scan and set it for next turn, or I could grab I'm going to grab a battery just to get things kicked off a little better. It's going to be a skip. I don't have thorns, so I'm going to want to burst this guy down. If you have thorns, often these guys will kill themselves. I can use these, but I'm going to... Let's see, would that be worth it? If I burst and then try to get my shield back up, probably not. Something to keep in mind, though. Especially if we had a more shield-centric build. Go ahead and skip. Grab even more skips. Skip, scan. Repeater. Okay, that's what we've been waiting for. That is the first step on it. Adapt is great. However, there's interaction with repeater where the double shot, you can use it to get 2 scans. Now we're pretty late in this run for it to really pay off. You really want this early. But it makes a lot of the more difficult to establish builds functional or possible to get the cards you need. Scan, skip. I can now do this to pull the card I just added, which is at the end, and get it set up for next time around. I already have my shield, so I'm good to go here. Got a vulnerable. Huh. I'm not... I'll have to double check the recording on that interaction. I was expecting to take damage as a result of the vulnerable. Okay, double shot. It's a status that stacks here. It only gets used when you do your next weapon. And it'll do the attack twice. So this is slightly wasteful, but I'm going to need to demo it anyways. 6, and then it attacks again. Any effect on it, even if it's something like this, if I use double shot in it, I would get 2 weapon energy and I'd take 2 damage. And it is worth noting that it does it 1 at a time. Destabilize, I don't need to take the damage for it. Go ahead and skip. Turn this into CPU, get my shield buffer. So now next turn, I'll get my shield for free. And that allows me to focus on doing damage, but I don't really have the best ordering for it. Skip there. Do I want to search for anything or do I want to skip? I can grab my double shot. Grab the skip there. Let's see, if I just skip here, damage, shield, that might be enough. Shield. Oh no, not be enough. I wanted to shield burst, but that's not actually effective. He's doing 8 damage. I skip to get extra weapon. I can convert that weapon back into skips. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab this, convert, and I'm going to double my shield. Peter has a lot of versatility, so. This turnaround, shield and damage either effectively do the same thing. Can optimize my process, I can do that. I go ahead and take 3 damage to deal 6, and then shield burst. Now, our build currently doesn't have any way of repairing, so that is definitely a problem. What I'd love to see is an accumulate. Auto turrets are great. Thermal spikes are great for finishing enemies off. I don't think I'm going to worry about trying to take on another elite before boss. I could theoretically get 3 modules this round, which I've never done. That could be fun, but that's going to burn through our data. Instead, I think I'm going to take this. I'm going to go ahead and take this contingency plan. Restock, pulverized main. Yeah, I don't want any of those. If I restock again, that's going to take me down to 50. So, am I going to hit another store before end of round? No, I will not. Ambush targets don't take their first turn. We can get a weapon plus. Get 50% more data. That's not going to be a problem. Anything we want to erase. We'll probably end up healing from that. I'll probably take the safe passage. I'm going to go ahead and just restock to show more. Yeah, I won't have that anyways. But we can see any of these do we want. Improve a random card. Next 3 encounters you start with 4 spikes. That could be worth it. This will update either your press or your, I forget what the name of it is, your shield one. Not too impressive. I think the press does +1 damage, shield I think does +1 shielding. So slightly more beneficial, but it's only on one of them, it's not on the full set. Why is it saying... Okay, that is not the correct tooltip. So this is an update, but it's showing the spare battery. Huh. Okay, that's a bug. Need to report. This one's all... Okay, it looks like it's consistent. It's showing whatever the... Nope, that shows the correct. The top row is showing what the original ones were prior to the restock. I'm going to take volatile cover and leave. So far, the developer has been extremely responsive to feedback, so that's why I'm making these videos. Invulnerable stack. So, no matter how much damage you do, its per attack will clear one of these from him. So, this is a time where the multi-attack would be great for clearing out these shields. I don't have the spikes yet, that's on. I have to get to that event before I'll have those. Often, I just kind of focus on bursting down the jellyfish. This guy does a lot of damage, and I usually can't shield enough with my builds. So, there's something to be said for taking his shield out as quickly as possible, because he doesn't actually have much health. So as soon as the shields are down, it's easy to kill. It's only 9 health. So multi-attack's great. Single attack's not so great on this one. If I can get to my turret, I should be fine. So really, the danger is going to be in this first build through. So, taking skips. Sure, I can play the convert energy back and forth game. Another one of these. Convert that. Tempting. Okay, so what I'm considering is I can either double my shield, take no damage, or I have my repeater into scan layout perfectly and I can use my optimized process. I think I'm going to go for that. So I'm going to go skip, double shot, optimized process, and this is the interaction I was talking about before, where you can get 2. So I'm going to grab a hook shot, although with this deck, I take it back. Usually I skip the emergency, however with this deck where I have shield burst, that can be very impactful. And now I get my second time around. Bulk up's great. I'm pivoting to more of a shield build, so this is definitely worth it. Reflex is nice, however this you can convert your shield into your damage without burning your shield. So if I theoretically stack my shield up, get this card, deal damage equal to my shield, and then use my shield burst to deal damage equal to my shield again, that can be a very powerful burst. I'm grabbing the shotgun. It only does 2 damage to each. However, I can clear these shields. Now each of my skips will clear one of its invulnerability. So instead of wasting 9 damage or 6 damage or whatever I'm using to attack, I can do it with 1 skip. This starts off very weak, however every time I use weapon energy it increases damage, and you can use either weapon or engineering, so that's why it's a contingency plan. I'll take 1 damage. All considered, that is not bad. Okay, so I can key search and then pull my auto turret or something else, and that helps you get your build going much faster. I could even theoretically pull the repeater and then do something like that. I have another key search coming. I think I'm just going to try to scale into the auto turrets. I want to have the energy for... I'm going to be taking 6 damage. I think having a second shotgun will not clear this any faster. I think it'll just do 4 damage, but we'll still be hit by the invulnerability, so I'm going to go ahead and do the skip gain. That's effectively a resource pull at this point. Skip. Skip. If I had 1 more shield, or 1 more skip, but I don't, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'll end up taking 6 damage. Okay, I definitely want to clear that. However, yep. So I'm going to demonstrate drawing my emergency. I confirm it. Okay, I almost did something incredibly stupid. Use this, skip to get rid of his invulnerability, then detonate. And we have made it to the boss. So 40 health, that is a very low health run, but our deck didn't quite come together the way we wanted it to. I should have pivoted to the shield build much earlier, but I was really hoping to get my skip build. So this guy, Preserve, that means he's going to give himself, it doesn't say the amount, but it's going to be 100 on his first time around, and then he's going to keep it, so instead of going from 100 and then being gone, it'll be 100, 50, 25, so on and so forth. And then he'll get a second one that he rotates through. He rotates between a strong shield of 100 and a weak shield of 20. But this thermal spike is going to be our boss killer, we just have to power it up. So we're going to be looking for how can we use as much upfront energy as we can. In that end, if I recall correctly, his phases, he does shield, then he does a buff, so I don't have to worry about taking damage next turn. I'm going to go ahead and just start stacking weapon energy. Convert that back. Do I want to do a shield burst? No, I don't. Huh. Not really happy with my initial deck order, but it is what it is. We're fine. This boss we can stack power without worrying about him reflecting it. So, start off a little bit slower. He now is going to add a malfunction. We have our key searches in place so we can start reordering some things. Where's our scan? Our scan's deep. We might want to pull our skip, so pull the battery out earlier. Reload or battery. I think I'm going to... Battery repeater. Okay. Didn't calculate it out, so I don't know if it's going to work quite the way I want it to. However, we're going to do a key search. We're going to pull our reload. Use that. I'm now going to skip to the auto turret. Place it. Skip here. And you can see our auto cannon is going to do 4 damage every time we get a skip. going to use this. We're going to double shot. And theoretically, this should let me pull 2 cards. I haven't actually used that interaction. But if we had a second repeater, we would be able to pull the repeater and pull the scan. And so that could be a very useful setup for something else. For now, though, I'm just going to let it be. I'm going to skip. And I'm going to end my turn there. Next turn, I should have enough to be able to get to my scan and double pull. Skip. I have enough here that I'm actually gaining resources from using these. So I'm going to go ahead and do so. I could start this ticking. I think I'm going to hold off on one more turn before getting that going. Double pull. I'm going to pull another auto turret. The more you have, the easier it is to stack those up. 3 key searches and still none of the recoups. Oh well. We are definitely into a shield build at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and accept my fate. Let's write this back. And I'm just trying to burn through cards however I can at this point. Grab some engineering pluses. Okay, we're going to want this to be able to burn through there. He's going to weaken us. I assume it's going to be a minus of some sort. We have 2 engineering pluses. Maybe we can convert. We might end up with just a bunch of engineering energy, but either way, I can shield, I can even get through those, so we should be fine. Skip penalty. Oh, that is not the one I wanted to see, but that's fine. Get a shield. So you can see this is already scaling up to doing 17 damage at this point. And the longer it goes, the higher that's going to get. Do we want to clear out his shield? He's going to do 15 damage. We can burn through these malfunctions. We can get our skip. I think we're going to go ahead and let this build up a little bit more. Take damage. Take damage. I'll absorb into a shield. Our skips here. We're going to set up another cannon. So now we're doing 8 damage every time we have a skip, and we have 3 skips queued up. Skip, skip. I can either convert the skip into a weapon energy, or I can convert it into 8 damage. So if I think I can do more damage with a weapon energy, then I'll do that. If I think I can do more damage with my skip, I will do that. I think I'm going to go and just take the 15 damage because he is pretty slow with his damage rotations, and I'm not worried about him killing me before I have a chance to get going. So I'm going to go ahead and skip. I'm going to load up my double shot. And now that will get shuffled into my next build so I can try out the key search double pull and see if that works the way I'm anticipating. I've played this game a decent amount, however, I'm definitely still learning interactions. So it's always fun to try new things if you have a chance. In this case, he's going to shield 20. Go ahead and convert this to energy. Gain power just to burn the card effectively. Skip. Okay, let's try double pull. So I could pull this auto turret, but that's not going to move it up in the line much. I'm about to get it anyways, so I'm going to look for some cards back here. What about if I pull... I also don't know the order would put it. I'm going to try pulling the other auto turret and then the double skip and see if... So now I have auto turret. Sorry, not the double skip, the repeater for a double shot is what I meant to say. And it does work the way I was expecting. Nice. So you can, if you get a few of these together, you can actually make some really nice orders. Now, if only we had our skip build energy generation, buy it with a converter or something like that, this would be an extremely powerful build. As it is, it'll be sufficient, but it's nothing spectacular. I think I want to get the ball rolling, so I'm going to go ahead and optimize my process, use this just so it's queued up so our next key search we can pull it back again. Do I want a shotgun? I don't know if this guy summons. He might summon enemies. Shotgun does less damage. But it's free this turn though, and then we're going to do a double search next time, so we can pull it back. So I'm fine. Another double draw. And if I had endless energy generation, this would be an infinite deck. I do not have an infinite energy generation part of it, so it's going to definitely be handicapped a bit. But definitely fun. Okay, I'm going to double my skips. Okay, I want to get to my recuperate, so I'm going to go ahead and convert this to weapon, convert it into energy. I can now convert that into CPU. Or I can skip it, get my electric shield. I'm going to go ahead and get my CPU, so I can get my engineering plus, get my weapon energy. I'm going to go ahead and take brittle. I haven't really been shielding too much, and because he has a slow attack rotation, I should be fine with the 2-turn penalty. Just gonna let me burn through a little bit more. He only does 21 damage, so I can get another damage in here for free. And we're obviously set up where we can burn him at any point. I'm just having fun playing around with the mechanics. But we probably should put it into his misery. So this is stacked up to 36. That's obviously a good chunk of damage. We can get another skip here. And now every time we skip, we're going to be doing 16 damage. So we have 32 damage already on standby here. We don't need to do anything. And that's a wrap. Power efficiency. So if I had a third module slot, I would have been able to keep this, but this is the end of the demo anyways. So if I had been moving forward, I probably would have kept. I do like that. Shield burst, because we were pivoting more towards a shield build, I might keep. However, I probably would discard it in hopes of getting my skip build. And that's a wrap for today.